Everyone wants to know the single greatest foolproof trick that will make your recording sound like the pros sound. It's nerd. And it's coming right up. So, good day and welcome to the Time Preservation Society. I'm the recordist. So I'm going to skip all the other BS and get right to the point. What is the one foolproof trick that works every time to make your recordings sound professional? Here's the answer. The one trick is knowing that there isn't one. There's no trick. I tricked you because there's no trick. But wait, did I just do clickbait when I said I didn't like clickbait before? Yes, I did. And that was the point. I see more and more of these videos that promise to deliver one crazy, super secret trick that the pros don't want you to know about. The pros don't want you to know stuff? What? Have you ever actually talked to a pro? Most of us can't wait to gush about all the stuff we do. We're usually non-cockily confident, but not guarded. It's the ones at the beginning of the Dunning-Kruger curve that want to guard the secrets they think they know. So are these types of titles clickbait? Yes. Yes, they are. Do they deliver what they promise? No, they don't. The unfortunate simple answer is there's no one trick that will make all your recordings sound professional. And anyone who says that is either lying or they have absolutely no idea what they're talking about, or both. But don't click away just yet. I'm still going to give you several valuable intel transmissions that you might need later. There's no one surefire trick. There are many, and they constantly change depending on the type of audio you're working on in the source recordings. So here is some real advice that will actually help you. The first thing I'll start with is be careful of pro audio advice from a video or film production, vlog, or gaming channel. There are a few really knowledgeable video people out there that come from an audio background, of course, but those other channels, they can give some pretty bad advice. Or they review mediocre products as excellent, and that misleads people a lot. It drives me nuts to see audio advice being dispensed by a dude who has a serious 700 hertz comb filtering happening in a room just radiating standing waves and piercing my eardrums with a razor-sharp 2K, but is using a killer video LUT from their amazing LUT package, available now for only $99. Yeah, some of these people think of audio as the least important part of a production because they think it's easy and it doesn't require much attention. But they're wrong. You know that. I know that. They don't. It requires all the attention. And more than that, it requires practice and ear training. Practice and ear training. That alone is probably the least welcome but most important trick I can share in this video. Practice, repeated fails, training your ears, practice, and more practice. The only way to get really good at audio is to do it a lot. Have a professional you trust listen to your work, accept your mistakes, try again, then work on it more. Just keep on giving her. The trick is to recognize what sounds good and what sounds bad. Seems simple, right? Except that it's not. At least not at first. So, you've probably heard use your ears, and you're thinking, what? That's terrible advice. That's why I'm asking you this question in groups, So whether you're recording and mixing music, or you're recording spoken word, or field recording, or sound effects, or whatever you're doing, it requires you to know if what you're doing sounds correct. If you're doing it right, if it sounds good. So what is correct? Who decided what's right or wrong? And how do you know? Being able to identify what is good and what is bad confidently is something that requires repeated practice and ear training. There is no instant solution. Like anything else in life, all the best things take time. Training your ears is the single greatest thing you can ever do if you want to do recorded audio and you want to be good at it. A good way to train your ears is to constantly compare your finished products against those of the professionals, the people you look up to, and keep doing that. Another thing to do to help fine-tune and speed up this process and help you to achieve the confidence in what you're doing is actual ear training courses or websites. Sound Gym is a very popular one. It's like a workout for your ear holes. I don't know what they have a tagline or something. It's actually really cool. I wish I had something like that when I was just starting out, when I was, young and dumb. It trains your brain and your ears on how to listen critically. You'll learn how to identify problem areas and fix them. You'll learn, all sorts of stuff. I was going through the website and I thought, this is great, Anyway, Sound Gym. This is not a sponsored video or anything like that. I just found those guys a while back and thought, it was awesome. So I applied for the affiliate thing because I'm terrible at remembering to apply for affiliate things. When I make links on the bottom, they're just so I can track to see how many people click on them. Most of the time, I haven't even done the affiliate thing. And I need to do that because, we live in a capitalistic society. So, yeah. Anyway, that Sound Gym affiliate link is in the description below. I'd really appreciate you using it so that with those earnings, I may one day finally return to my home planet. So, ear training, practice, and listening to people who actually know what they're talking about. There are a lot of them out there, and they usually specialize in various types of recorded audio. I do all kinds of recorded audio, but I specialize in working with spoken word. I love it. It's really satisfying. I know a thing or two about music recording too, obviously. It's how I started a long time ago, and I've recorded hundreds, if not thousands of songs and music pieces in my time. How about plugins and correct plugin chains? Well, what works best for your workflow? What is your workflow? Do you fully understand what each plugin does, what it's actually doing? There isn't one specific plugin chain that you should be using. There are all kinds of great plugins and combinations and specific orders of them, and you can do it all different kinds of ways. The trick is more about knowing why to use a plugin and when to use them, or if you should use them, and less about which exact ones to use. Some plugins are really great. Others suck. Some make your life easier. Some just do what 10,000 others do, but have a different looking GUI. Some are unique and worth owning. Others, not so much. Finding the best plugins to use for you is part of the fun. Testing stuff out, working with it, all that. It's a lot of fun. So then why are some professionals recommending a certain specific compressor or de-esser or saturator or noise reduction or limiter or whatever? It's probably because that pro likes working with those plugins, those specific ones, or they're getting a kickback. But 98% of the time, you can achieve some of the same results just with stock plugins that are included in your DAW. People just starting out in audio often make it all about the tools. I did the same thing. Don't get me wrong. Great tools are great. And I have many favorites, but they're my favorites. Maybe they won't be yours. You have to find your own favorites, but understand them, and that's very important. People will drop all kinds of cash right off the hop and buy gear and software and plugins because it's exciting and it briefly feels like instant progress. And then that feeling fades until the next purchase. It's a dopamine hit soon followed by a huge crash every time. Here's the tool's secret. You can do anything with anything within reason if you know what you're doing. But not with a Rode NT1A. No one can do anything with that mic. So, yeah. Again, that ear training will take you further than any plugin or mic could ever take you. And understanding what you're doing, understanding what you're actually doing, instead of just watching someone tell you to do something and then you do the thing and you don't really know why you're doing it. You need to understand that. If you own Logic Pro or Studio One or Cubase or Reaper or pretty much any DAW, you've almost got every plugin you'll need to make pro-sounding recordings built right in. Noise reduction usually isn't included, and that's something that, you might need to get, but it's pretty cheap. Plugin chains and the order they're in is all about what you like working with. The plugins that make it easier for you to do what you're after. And you'll know what you're after when you're able to recognize what sounds good and how to emulate that. I have many favorite plugins, and I'm trying new ones all the time because that's my job. Some professionals will swear by a certain plugin, and it's a very popular plugin, so I'll download it and try it. And maybe it's not for me, or I'll try it and then whatever. I forget about it. I forget it even exists. So what I use isn't the best way. It's my way. And what I like may be different than what other people like. And here's another trick about audio. There are millions of paths to the same destination. All kinds of ways to end with a premium result. The best advice in the world is, if it sounds good, it is good. But knowing what sounds good, or more aptly put, trusting your own ears, is the key. And knowing exactly how you want something to sound before you even start is where you want to be. With spoken word, if I'm working on a particular sibilant speaker, I'll drop a de-esser before EQ, before compression, but after noise reduction, and after declicking. Maybe I'll use a de-esser twice. I know how I want it to sound, and then I use the tools and the order of those tools to achieve that sound. My plugin chain workflow for that is usually mouth declicker, then noise reduction, then de-esser, then subtractive EQ, and then compression, like light compression, then additive EQ, then saturation, then raising it to the correct LUFS or RMS for export. That's kind of what I'm at right now. Sometimes I change that up. Next year, I might have a different workflow altogether. It's fluid and it all serves one purpose, the end product. Headphones and monitors. Some people prefer to mix on headphones and some prefer to mix on monitors. I prefer headphones. A long time ago, I watched a TV documentary where an audio engineer, I don't remember who it was some behind-the-scenes studio thing. Anyway, he said he mixes on Sony MDR 7506 cans. That's it. He might occasionally check his mix on near fields, but ultimately he knows those headphones, and he trusts them. So I went out and bought a pair immediately. Years later, I saw a video where Andrew Sheps said the exact same thing with the same headphones. Very cool. I thought, yeah. So I've been using Sony MDR 7506 headphones for all my mixing for years. I know them so well that I can mix entirely on them and then play my mixes on a phone or in the car or wherever, and it always translates really well. I've made so many mistakes using them that I just got used to hearing exactly where I know there will be problems later. I just know them well, and I'll never change to another pair for mixing. I prefer to do the bulk of my mixing on those headphones and only check my work on near fields briefly but regularly. So, what advice did you just get out of that? Was it to go out and buy some Sony MDR 7506s? Because that wasn't the advice. The advice that I was giving you was to decide what you want to trust and then go with that. If it's headphones, then find a good pair of headphones. Any decent, well-reviewed headphones for audio mixing and stick with those. Maybe you already have them. Good. Get used to them. Use only them. Settle on them. Don't switch it up all the time. Maybe they're Beyerdynamic openbacks. Maybe they're Sennheisers or Audio-Technicas, whatever. Just get to know them and stick with them. When I say mixing, every time I say mixing, I'm referring to all of it, from music to voiceover processing to production sound mixing to field recording and everything between. Or if you dislike headphones and really prefer monitors in a room, then do that. Tune them with Sound ID or don't. Just know them intimately. Whatever you do, just get used to them, find their weaknesses, and know them well. Use those weaknesses to your advantage. The Sony MDR7506 cans are hyped in the sibilant area. I know that. And I know the perfect amount of de-essing is when the S's sound just a little bit too sibilant in my headphones. That's the sweet spot. I know that. I like headphones because I can be anywhere, and all I need are my trusty beat-up pair of Sonys, and I can feel confident in what I'm doing. But as long as you know your cans or speakers in your room, whatever it is that you get used to, then that's what matters. Just know how things sound. And do you know when you'll know if you know them? It's when you take your mixes or finished products and listen in the car or on your phone or wherever you listen on, maybe earbuds or whatever, and they always sound good. Whatever you're doing sounds good pretty much on anything. So anyway, let's ramp this up for a grand finale because I've been blabbing for quite a long time. Here's a rapid-fire series of advice points. Learn what compression does. Train your ears to detect it in the audio you're listening to. Sometimes compression is needed. Sometimes it's not needed at all, so you don't need to use it. I love using light compression on audiobooks, medium compression on exciting ad read voiceovers, and absolutely no compression at all on production dialogue. So learn when to use it and how it works. Learn the limitations of limiters. Play with an EQ and listen for pleasing sounds, like what sounds good, and listen for ugly sounds, like, ooh, that sounds ugly. Piercing sounds, listen for all those when you raise certain frequencies. I like sometimes 7.2K and 12K a lot with spoken word. But sometimes that doesn't sound good on certain voices, so I don't use that. Sometimes I'm raising 4K or 2K. Everyone is different. It's always different. But everybody has a certain, in their voices, if I'm talking voices, there's a certain, you'll hear it. You'll say, ooh, that sounds really nice. I like that sound of their voice, so let's accentuate that a little bit. And that's all it is. Just a little bit, never too much, just a little. Moving on. Listen to saturation. What is saturation doing? Sometimes beginners have a hard time hearing subtle saturation. They don't hear a difference. Again, that comes down to ear training and practice, and you get to know these kinds of things. I think I'll do a whole video on saturation and what it actually is. I think I'll do that. Moving on. Spend on your room before you spend on a mic. A $10,000 mic in an untreated room will sound far worse than a $100 mic in a treated room. Guaranteed every time. When processing spoken word, figure out the goal. For ads, it's energetic or maybe somber or endearing or authoritative, etc. For audiobooks and talking head, it's easy listening, finding pleasing frequencies that aren't fatiguing to listen to. For a dialogue, it's natural, etc. So find the goal. When miking an instrument, find the sweet spot to aim the mic at. But how do you recognize a sweet spot? Ear training and practice. I'll do a whole video on mic placement, I'm sure. That one is a long time coming. I definitely have to do that. Moving on. Gear isn't everything, but it helps if you know what you're doing. I've known people with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of high-end gear with absolutely no idea how to use it. The result is awful sounding stuff, as expected. You can't buy a good finished product unless you're hiring a professional to do the work, and where's the fun in that? Moving on. Have you ever had a car or a fridge or a piece of finicky equipment that you've had for a while or something, and you know exactly how to make it work? Like you have to pound it with your fist in just the right spot just to make it do its thing, to make it turn on or something. That's how knowing how to produce good audio works. You hear the thing and you hear right away, you're like, oh yeah, there's a problem at 1K, there's a problem at 700, 250, you know what you're going to do. You listen to it and you already know what you got to do. And finally, make audio an obsession for a while, for a time. Just give her. Once you pass through the gateway from regular human person to audio expert, it's like seeing the Matrix for what it is. Everything suddenly makes sense, and you can bend and even break the rules. It's the greatest feeling on earth. It's total ultimate power. So there you go. If you're still watching this video at this point, which thank you very much, by the way, because wow, blah, blah, blah. I just went nuts. Then you have got a lot to think about, right? It started with a clickbait thumbnail. Then it passed into the valley of disappointment. And then on to the foothills of boredom. And then ended at the pinnacle of the mountain of good. And that's where everyone wants to be. At the top of the mountain of good. Hey, the more you know. The more you know. I know a lot of stuff now. If you like these types of videos, let me know and I'll make more of them. If you hated this, let me know that too. Maybe I talked too fast. I don't know. I had a lot to say. If you want a specific instructional video, inform me. And if you want access to secret videos and your name in the production credits, here, and other cool things, hit that join button and become an official member of the Time Preservation Society. It helps me make a few extra bucks and inspires me to keep going. And also, there's that whole getting back to my home planet thing, so that helps me too. Well, that'll just about do it for all of me here at the Time Preservation Society. Fart. Bye now. In transmission. Made from Dachman. Boy, thank you. Watch these videos. Appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around. See you later. Bye-bye now.